Okay, it's 7:11:14. I'm doing the 5 o'clock float down Paint Creek. Water is at 394 cubic feet per second. The dam has cut it back to 201, so this water is going to be down a lot lower tomorrow, but still fun. They're having a big island party up here, and this is my humble existence. Okay, it's July 17th. I'm at Blaine Highway. I'm pretty close to US Route 50 west of Chillicothe. This is Paint Creek, and water's flowing at 475 cubic feet per second. Should make for a good float. I came out with Dwayne Sealing and Water's Edge Canoe, livery. Some other rafters and boaters and canoeists have already put in. I'm the last one. I've just waited. And we're about ready to slide it on in there. I brought the fishing rod today. Maybe for a change of pace, maybe get a smallmouth. Okay, the July 17th excursion continues. I've added a fishing pole for this trip. I've never done that in a kayak. It's amazing how a small buzzbait can spin a kayak clear around. This is getting into the high power line area that cuts across Huntington Township, crosses Route 50, close to Chuck Hurley's house, which is by, I think, Owl Creek. And we're in a pool. There's one of the twins. I think it's going to be lower twin that comes in right there behind the tree. And so far a few casts, no smallmouth. But we're entering the area where the little barn swallows inhabit these cliffs up ahead. And I think that's soybeans up above the cliffs. Alright, right now I think we're going about northeast. And I didn't intend to use my iPhone to shoot videos on this, but with the water this high, I feel confident enough to get it out. I have a double fail-proof storage place for it, so when the going gets rough, I can put it away in a hurry. Right now I'm headed for an obstacle, so I'm going to abandon ship and get out of here. Okay, here we are. Back again, obstacle avoided. This is where all the swallows have little nests in the side of the bank. The bank faces the south, so it probably bakes their little home into a nice adobe style shelter. Around the corner there's some obstacles, and I see some ducks up there ahead right at 12 o'clock, approximately 4 of them. Probably going to be light on wildlife on this kayak float, but there's about 8 people ahead of me. I'll let them get about a 20-minute head start, probably run into them shortly. And I'm filming this for you, Brad. You did a lot for Drew, and if you don't like water, I'll at least let you see this, and I hopefully get to film one of the ones with the National Park Rangers on a Thursday. We'll see how that works out. Here's a little spot I've ran myself aground. I came back against the current. This is normally dry, but at 475 CFS, you know, there's a little bit of water. It's all gravel. So if you wanted to get out, that's the swimmers rapids right there. A lot of times you'll see people frolicking out there in that little chute. It's a lot of fun. I've been there before. The water is a touch cold today. It was in the 50s last night. So I'm just going to stick to getting the ankles wet today. The high power lines, high voltage, high tension, whatever they want to call them, are right behind me. And I'm about ready to go under. Okay, we're about a quarter of the way through the float. That is Rube Hill right there. That is a pretty steep hill. Actually, the road goes through over there where there's a break in the trees. There's about 3 residences that are pretty nice, has got a road clear from where the break in the trees are to the north, over that ridge and down to the creek. And I'm sure they have more trouble than I do, because their road somewhere faces the north. Mine does not. Mine's east and west, and that's bad enough. There's some corn looking south. Just a little gravel bar I pulled up on. I don't think I've ever stopped at this one before. I let everyone else get ahead of me. If I don't get back to booking, I'm going to have the next wave chasing me in the rear, so I'm going to get back to it. Well, I'm going to try to steer one-handed here. The creek's starting to get a little agitated. I'm coming close to the residences that have to fight the driveway off of Rube Hill. We are east, by the way the creek flows, of Sight Mound, so there's no doubt in my mind that many Indians have came down through here. And there's probably artifacts off these banks that I'm not aware of, and neither is anyone else. But I guarantee Tecumseh and some of the other big players have came down through here, and it's kind of interesting. I have not seen a soul in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I'll re-record when we get to the 3 houses off of Rube Hill. Okay, here goes one cast. I'm going to have to set this down for a second. And here we go. I'm fishing a buzzbait mini Strike King. I've done this about 50 times, but nothing ever hit. Oh, how convenient. Here are the residences that have to come down the hill. Let me get this lure out of the water. I've learned a long time ago, don't leave a lure in the water where the fish can get it. We're coming into where the folks live. I'll pause and shoot it better when I get a better view. Here's one of the best places of the 3. Sorry for the instability on the video, but I'm trying to keep myself pointed forward, because shortly around the bend here, I've got to navigate an island, and I got to pick right or left. Last time I went right, I'll try left today. I'm also getting chased by the rear. I just now hear voices, so I got to identify the folks behind me and see if they're friendlies or foes. Who knows? It takes all kinds out here on the creek, and there's no sense in calling the sheriff. And you can see a little bit of the whitewater ahead. And I tell you what, I think I can roll that. I'll pause and we'll go through the rapid. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to one-hand this through here. Here's a nice house. Water's getting a little noisy here. I see some obstacles. There's one right there I got to get out of. Here we go. I think we got a clean shot through here. Just like a riverboat captain, you got to read the waves. Waves mean turbulence. Waves mean obstacles causing turbulence. Okay, we got through that. Better yet to come. Let's see if I'm good enough to hold the phone and film it. Here's the platform that a lot of people swing off of. Here it's in Buzzard's Roost. Someone made a nice sign. God bless Mark Wilson. Hopefully he didn't terminate here. But that's where usually the young folk jump off. It's very deep here. I'm going to say 15 feet. I'm going to get spun around. There's a couple fellow kayakers up ahead. And we're ready to round the bend. We are in Buzzard's Roost. 1,300 acres donated by a private landowner. And around that bend there to the southeast, there's going to be some noise. Let's see what happens. Okay, here's one of the last calm pools before we hit some white water. It's a nice stretch of Paint Creek. We are definitely in Buzzard's Roost Nature Preserve. Someone donated 1,300 acres of land for everyone to enjoy. And no one owns the creek, but at least through here you can stop at the gravel bar up there or whatever and just take your time. Whitewater is next, and let's see what happens and see if I'm brave enough to hold the phone and try to go through some minimal routes. Okay, here we go. We're in the middle of Buzzard's Roost, which is, you know, the lone land that I talked about earlier. Right around this corner, I hear noise. There are two kayakers behind me that I passed that needed a light, so I helped them out. No fish, no strikes, and it's very peaceful, good weather. 6 p.m., July 17th, 2014. Water flow about 475 cubic feet per second. And I'm approaching the island. We'll do more from there. Here I am trying to get to the island. It's going to be a shaky video here for a little bit. I'll go down the left chute, which is shallow. And we'll see if I can make it and get us docked. Here we go. This is one hand paddling, by the way. A little white water here to get us started. All the driftwood that hits this stays on the northwest corner. Let's see if we can get through this with one paddle. There we go. Once the current gets me, it may want to put me in the bank, and I may have to drop the phone. We'll see what happens. Okay, there's a log we want to stay away from. There's a big rock here we want to go. Okay, we're splashing water. So far, we're not taking water on. That's good. Now, that's trying to spin me. I'm going hard right, hard right, hard right, hard right, hard right, hard right. Here we go. Whew. Okay, those are nothing, but we made it. We're going to dock at the island. Okay, I have conquered the island, and it's one of the few times I've ever had it to myself. There is traffic coming from upstream, but there we go. This is the channel to the left, which I took. No particular reason. There's another swing. Water's about 8 feet deep out there from the swing. And here we have the island. And people who have worked on it over the years, usually, since Paint Creek is flood controlled, they don't let it get too bad downstream. So that's why this stuff has stayed. I'm sure it gets washed away once in a while. There's grills and trash bags. Most people do try to be conscientious and take their trash with them, but this is the south side of the island that splits it. You can see this on Google Maps, but that's it. I should have some visitors here shortly that may want to borrow a lighter. We'll see what happens. Well, apparently someone was just here and they were kind enough to leave some bratwurst here, or they're on the other end. I won't touch it, I'm not hungry, but anyway, here's the Survivor style island thing. And people have a sense of humor. Here's some little miniature barbecue grills. I don't know. Minus the grate, they're not doing much.